Hello and welcome to our Saturdays with Tara Hangout on Air. I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club, and we're on the web at the loaclub.com. On these Hangouts, we collaborate with our friends Tara. Today's call is call number 4 of our 4-week relationship challenge, Creating the Relationships of Your Dreams. And the topic is, who or what are you really relating to? If you'd like to get invites to our free open calls, which we offer periodically, and our letting go process, go to the loaclub.com. So now we are going to hand the call over to Robin and Tara, and welcome.
Welcome back to our discussions about creating the relationships of your dreams. These 4 weeks are literally about changing planets, or more precisely perhaps about moving on to a new version of this planet where all of your relationships are positive and supportive, where you're entwined in loving and exciting partnerships as you step day by day into this adventure of yours, the dance called life on Earth. Let's look at these dance partners of yours, these special people or special animals or special things that appear around you. And let's think about who and what they are and how they come to be with you here. Because when you understand that and then internalize that understanding, you acknowledge to the universe and to yourself the truth of who you are. So we want to take you on a fantastic mental journey, to take you back to a time and place before you were born. And as we say that, we know that some of you are wondering why we keep proposing that you take these flights of fancy, when all you're simply trying to do is find ways of dealing with this world you're already in. And some of you are thinking, I'm not very good at this imagination stuff anyway, so it doesn't work for me. To which we respond, as we always do, by saying, the stark truth about relationships is that if you're not intersecting with others in ways that are loving and supportive, then that's because you're not a match to that. And there are not enough how-tos on that one version planet of yours to change that picture. So this could be like all those other how-to courses on how to win friends and influence people. Or we could talk truth to you. Let's all agree to talk truth, because it's not and never was and never will be about what you need to do. It's about how you need to think. Resetting your point of attraction is an internal process. And once you get there, you don't need how-tos at all. Once you get there, miracles happen. And there's no power in heaven or on earth that can keep you apart from the relationships that you're looking for. And you can't get there if you're stuck in that current version of you, which keeps on keeping on, attracting the same old stuff you've always attracted. There's not one of you that cannot rediscover your imagination instantly, unless, of course, you choose to believe you can't. So phooey to that. There's not one of you that's incapable of stepping into a new world, unless, of course, once again, you choose to believe you can't. We say you can, you can, you can. We say it's time for new choices and new thoughts, and the practicing of those new thoughts until they become your new habit. New habits equals new you. New habits equals new everything. Quite simply, you are the sum of your habits of thought. Now we know that the current version of your world has mesmerized you into thinking that it's real and out there, and you have to deal with it as it is. But that's simply not true. Let's digress here for a minute and talk about what we'll call level 1 reality and level 2 reality. Let's start at level 1 and say you're going to build a house. You start with some cement and sand and gravel to make concrete for the foundations. In your level 1 physical world, concrete is about as real as it gets. You say things are cast in concrete when you want to describe them as solid and unchangeable. But all of this level 1 stuff is an illusion. It's not real at all. You're a consciousness. And the only thing that's real in a world of thought are thoughts and ideas and the energy of source. So today, right now, we're going to level 2 reality, the thought level. I'm going to mix some quote-unquote concrete at that level. It may not yet be a house with walls and doors and pictures on the walls, but it will be a start. What we're encouraging you to recognize and acknowledge to yourself is that this is where creation takes place. This is where level 1 is designed. It's where the blueprints are printed and the real action is. Are you ready for change? Are you ready to pick up your level 2 shovel and start mixing level 2 concrete with us? Good. Because that's an excellent metaphor for what we're about to do. Let's go make something that's really concrete. We're going on a fantastic mental journey back to a time and place before you were born. And to do that effectively, we have to first shake you out of level 1 reality thinking and into true level 2 reality awareness. Now we know that before you were born, there is no time and place. So this version of your quote-unquote past we're going to be in is a little bit of a fantasy story. But bear with us here because everything else about this story is literally and fundamentally real. This fantasy story about you is way more real than the level 1 world that's out there now. Even with this little bit of time and place fantasy, it's still more real than the nose on your face and the seat you think you're sitting on. So buckle up. Here we go. The first little bit of fantasy is we'll be thinking of a time sort of before time really began, when planet Earth existed, but what is on that planet is yet to be decided. The second little bit of fantasy is about place, because there is none. But once again, to get us into the picture, let's go sit on the crescent moon together. And let's look at that blue planet Earth as it's about to be populated. This version of the planet is ours to describe. How do you want it to be? Who do you want on it? Other conscious entities like you? What do you want on it? Dogs and horses? Without any concept of limits here, what do you want? Who do you want to share this adventure with? Imagine excitement. Imagine perfection. So take a minute or two here to savor this new creation. See it as you would have it be. Feel it as you would have it feel. Hear it as you would have it sound. Smell it as you would have it smell. Taste it as you would have it taste. Be in touch now with the loving and exciting relationships you can imagine for that new blue planet of yours. There is nothing you could possibly desire that cannot exist in this place, because it is your imagination that creates. And there are no limits to that except the ones you impose upon yourself. If this journey we're on here has within it the ability to inspire a desire within you, it is absolute that this new time-space reality will yield to you a full and glorious manifestation of that same desire. By law of attraction, it has to. Okay. So now you've defined it. And shortly it's going to be time to go join the party. But just before we go, let's have a moment or two more here to swing our legs and laugh and appreciate what we've created. Savor the delicious journey we're about to be on. Feels good, doesn't it? Okay. Now let's get down there and mix it up with all those people and animals and things. So whoosh, and there you are, on the world and in the world. And yet the knowledge that you created all of this is still fresh in your mind. And therefore, so is the idea that at any time you can go back and sit on that moon and create new versions of anything. And then you get involved. And then you forget. And here you are. So as we did last week, let's just stop for a minute in our level 1 reality and mentally look around. What are those things around you? Answer: what you chose to believe and expect would be around you. What are those animals around you? Answer: the animals you chose to believe and expect would be around you. Who are those other people out there? Answer: people as you expect them to be, even as this particular version of you is showing up in their world as a match to their particular choices. Your world, your unique particular version of level 1 reality, is comprised of the versions of everything you've attracted into your game. Everything in your level 1 matches you. Once again, Here's our summary of the law of attraction. Even though at level 1, it looks like there's one world and it's out there, there are actually multiple versions of reality. And yes, you are always moving between them. And if all that multiple version stuff sounds too confusing, all you have to know is this. You attract into your experience, wanted or unwanted, moment by moment, a world that matches the totality of your expectations. And those expectations come from what you've chosen to believe, and you can make new choices at any time. So now we're back in that level 1 world. As an exercise here today, let's revisit some of those people we've attracted into it. Go to your list of close relationships. Pick one. And in your mind, think of them now just for a second or two. You know them well. Think about them. They are this way and that way. And they do these things well and those things not so well. They like certain things and not other things. They like you or love you or dislike you and avoid you. Now observe yourself from level 2 and notice this. They're not here. They're not in your presence. And yet here you are, able to paint that clear picture of them because you know them so well. And here's the truth of it. What you now know is that level 2 picture you just visited is what creates them in your level 1 world. They exist that way because you know them as being that way. It's not that you learned they were that way. You level 2 created them that way from even before you knew them. You started them out as an envelope of possibilities. They showed up within those boundaries as a match to who you were at that point. Then you made some more belief choices about them and narrowed the boundaries. Then you practiced that definition until you had it cast in concrete. When you meet someone new, you have first impressions, new choices, then second impressions, more choices, until you've got them locked in. So we encourage you more and more to be that level 2 observer and watch yourself as you move around at level 1. Allow yourself to see the path ahead and see yourself walking on that path. See people as you want them to be. It's a matter of making new choices. It's nothing to do with those old choices. If you must face reality, make sure it's the truth. That level 2 is where so-called reality is created. And it's not that same old level 1 movie you've watched over and over. Take the time each day to deliberately paint new pictures of this person and that person, and paint and paint and paint. Practice that new picture into your expectation tapestry. So, level 2 awareness is key. Notice what you're expecting right now. And as we go through these 4 weeks, commit yourself once again, right here and now, to making changes to those expectations, because level 2 is where it's at. That's where you set the stage on which you play out all of your experiences. New expectations equals new stage. and new people in your life and on your stage. Good. Now let's move to our longer discussion and your questions, and let's see if we can make some of that level 2 concrete.
We do 3 live calls a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. This has been call number 4 of a relationship challenge. If you'd like to become a member, you can go to the loaclub.com/join. And so now we're going to go back and continue our discussion with Robin and Tara.